We're gonna start in while and child pose. So in the name, and you're gonna need, guys, for later. I mean, you are very welcome to do any to make it as comfortable as you want with pillows or wherever. We're gonna at the last pose, we're gonna be using a block. But again, for instance, for child pose, even you can lie on a cushion if you want or anything like that. We're gonna be here for like 10 breaths. So we're gonna start already sort of chill. So choose what you want to do. Sometimes I like putting maybe a block for my head so it's a bit less deep. So again, or a cushion, up to you. Choose your variation of child and let's go down there. This is how I started my morning as well. And it's a great pose to end the day or to start the day even. And start getting into your body, start getting into your breath, especially if you've been stressed, if there's been a lot to do in the office. Start being aware of your body rather than your mind. We tend to be, especially lately, that everything is online and all these little squares in front of us. We don't pay attention to our toes, to our hips, to our knees. And so start embodying who you are. Start paying attention to your breath. And where do you feel the breath? What part of your body do you feel the breath more prominently? And when you decided on what part of the body you feel the breath a bit more, just focus on that movement. Is it in the lower back, towards your kidney area sometimes? Is it in your belly? And just notice how as you inhale, perhaps that area inflates like a balloon, and as you exhale, slowly that area releases. Just noticing the wonder that the body is. How something as simple as the breath can affect in different areas of the body. Can affect us even how we think, how we feel. Make this your last breath. Inhaling deeply through the nose, and then you can even open your mouth and let go a long sigh. And taking your time, being careful, coming back up. And coming to your hands and knees. Making sure that your alignment, so that your knees are hip width apart and neither too open nor too close. Same with your hands, just underneath your shoulders. And I'm just going to do a couple of really slow and mindful cat and cow movements here. So as you inhale, you can drop the belly, noticing the spine moving. And as you exhale, pushing the floor away, squeezing the belly up, and rounding the back. Do a few at your own pace. And again, just as I was mentioning earlier, if we've been sitting all day, just noticing now this counter effect by moving the spine, perhaps even thinking about visualizing. I like visualizing sometimes my vertebrae, visualizing my spine rounding and contracting and moving. And without forgetting the breath, this coordination breath movement. Just do a couple more. perhaps getting deeper. Doing anything that feels right. And then we're going to do thread the needle. So keep in a neutral position. And we're going to start with the right hand. Rise your right arm up, 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 up. You can look at the right hand as you do that. And then also look and bring the right hand in that little bridge we've created. And allow the shoulders to just lean here. Pressing the shoulder against the floor, the side of the head. And you can keep the left hand here on the floor, or you can even bring it behind you for more intensity. Again, just notice where it's comfortable for you. Also, if we've been in front of the computer, we're going to do a couple of postures for the shoulders today as well. Breathe. Two more deep breaths here. With every exhale, noticing perhaps sinking a bit more your weight on your shoulders, noticing on the shoulder that you had the vaccine, perhaps see how it feels. I'm just doing the other one now. I've just thought of it now. So just be careful with that. Perhaps you want to put a cushion underneath, or perhaps not to press it so hard. And then once again, bring that left hand in front of you and rise once again, the right arm up and down. Let's do the other side. So this is where I have my jab. Let's see how it goes. Inhale and go the other way. Anyway, we're going to be here for a few breaths. So just settle and see again where you want to keep that right hand. Sometimes I like having it behind me. Sometimes I walk it forward. And just settle into the pose, making it as comfortable as possible. If your mind gets distracted, once again, just bring it back into the body, into the breath, the connection between the breath and then the movement in the body. Noticing again where you inhale and when you exhale, what gives, what happens. Make it this your last two breaths. The last one, once again, press the right hand against the floor, rise the left arm up and down. Okay, and come forward. I'm gonna go for Sphinx now. So just lie belly down, elbows on the floor, forearms on the floor. And again, I like to have my block nearby here and sometimes just hold my head, put my forehead on the block. So there's a bit more, less engagement, you can really relax, let go a bit. We're not strictly doing yin today, but especially when we get to that portion. In yin, we try to bypass all muscle engagement because we're trying to get deep into the connective tissue of the bodies. So perhaps we can start now just releasing. You don't need that at all. You could just allow your head to be soft here. And breathe. You can always adjust this posture to make it more restorative, more comfortable, or harder. That's always the thing with yoga. There's always a way to make things, especially for people that may be very bendy, then you need to go deeper to find a sensation. But for us, simple mortals, as long as you feel a sensation, you're already reaping the benefits. You're already doing it, especially with yin. We don't need to make much effort in yin to reap the benefits. It's more about how you feel in the body, and then stay in stillness in the pose. Just let go. With every exhale, perhaps melting more onto the ground, releasing any tension in the hips, the muscles in the legs. Notice if you're gripping anywhere, and you could still let go a bit more. Just make this your last breath. And we're going to do another one for the shoulders. Okay, so I'm going to do right arm. I'm going to show you both sides so you can see me in both sides. But you're going to take right arm and stretch it, so outside like this. And then, or the left, whichever you want. And then roll over, roll over, roll over. Okay, again, if your arm is aching, then you can always do put it instead of a straight like this. I think is even harder, to be honest. So check what's better for you, if in 90 degrees with the arm or straight. And if it's painful, just let me know, we can find something else. Otherwise, roll over. And then again, the intensity is measured in how you put your legs. So you could just be here on the side and noticing the opening of the shoulder here. If you want it more intense, is when you bring that top leg. So I have my left arm here, stretch. My right leg can go behind me, make it more intense, like this. Okay. So check. I'm going to show you the other. So if I'm here, this is what it looks like. And again, you can check with the intensity of the legs. You can have both legs bent, then it's less intense. Both are straight. One going really back there. So check how you want to play this. And then stay there. We're going to stay there for a few breaths. Yeah, if you have any question, ask me. Just find, the best place. And this is a great pose again, especially if we spend a lot of time hunching over a computer. To counterpose that, to counter rest. And just breathe. Once you find the place where you're comfortable, once you find the place where you can stay for a few breaths. Usually if we were doing a full yin class, a pose like this might stay for 1 or 2 minutes. We might stay a bit less today. So in yin, we stay between 1 and 10 minutes per pose, or sometimes even more. Because the magic is in stay still, find your edge, find the place where you are happy to be and you feel a sensation, but it's not so strong that you're going to suffer if you hold it for a long time. So you go to your edge and then perhaps even back off a bit. And then you stay there for a length of time. And there is when the magic happens. Because we're just holding in stillness. It's like if it was Play-Doh. We're playing with our fascia and our more deeper tissues. And we're playing with them like Play-Doh. So the fascia is this tissue that covers the whole body, it surrounds the muscles, it surrounds the bones, and it holds us together. It's what gives us shape. So here we're sort of challenging those shapes. Just a few more breaths. See if you can relax a bit more in the pose. And then making this your last breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhaling through the mouth with a long sigh. Slowly, slowly coming out of the pose. Taking your time to roll. In yin, again, the most, equally, even sometimes more important, the way you get out of the poses. Taking your time. Because it's like, sometimes it may feel like you've turned 100. Let's do the other side. Okay, so now the other arm. Just to stretch it. I'm hitting my plants now. And just roll, 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 roll open. Again, just decide where you want the legs. And maybe very different from the other side. So it depends on how you feel on this side. Might feel different. So just take a moment to just adjust. Do I want my legs both straight? Do I want them both bent? Do I want one bend and one straight? Can I really rotate more? How far can my shoulder open without me being in pain? Without me just like being uncomfortable. One thing I always say when I do my yin classes, that the only reason, there's two reasons why you could move out of the pose, because the aim is to be still. One is if you feel any pain, okay? So immediately that's a no-no. Back off the posture or even get out of it completely. And the other is if you can find more space and suddenly see, okay, I can go a bit further with this and it's still efficient. But it's our job to distinguish what's pain and what is being uncomfortable. There are two different things. Pain is dangerous. You might hurt yourself, not in this immediate moment, but in the long run. So pain could be something sharp, something electric, something, that definitely that if you push it now, you may have an injury that might last longer than just this sensation in this moment. Being uncomfortable is something that's happening right now and in the moment. And is something that sometimes we're not used to, both physically, emotionally. We try to avoid being uncomfortable. Fair enough. But life is full of uncomfortable moments. So here's where we learned as well just to sail through them, go through them, and just tell our brains, am I in pain? Am I in danger? Or am I just simply uncomfortable and I need to just go through it? Because it's through the challenges that sometimes we grow and we improve. So, as yourself, when we do these poses for a long time, am I uncomfortable? Or do I need to back off this pose? Or do I need to do one less vinyasa? Or can I just go one more and I'm not going to injure myself. This is going to be still good for me. A couple more breaths here. And make this your last breath, inhaling through the nose deeply, and then just let go a bit, sigh, let go, and again, come back out. Come back out, taking your time to roll out of the pose. And then coming onto your hands and knees, taking your time, hands and knees again, and from there, you're going to lift up into downward dog. See how it feels. You can paddle your feet, paddle your legs, bend one, bend the other. Do any movement that feels right now. Take a few breaths here. Then just walk to the top of the mat again slowly. Hanging there for a moment, you can bend the knees. And then just roll up. Roll up, roll up, roll up. Inhaling, bring the arms up. And exhaling, forward fold. Make a half lift, hands on your shin. Look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, take 2 steps, come into plank. Hold the plank for a moment. Start to activate a bit more energy. So we're going to do now the opposite. So I've been saying to release the muscle, and now we want to actually activate those muscles. And exhale, downward dog. Do this 2 more times. Inhale into plank. Holding, feeling strong, capable. Exhale, downward dog. One last time. Inhale, plank. And again, remember, you can always adapt it by bringing the knees down. It's always different ways. And exhale, downward dog. Now take a big step with the right foot. Bring it between your hands, left knee down. Anjayanasana. With a twist, you can bring the hand on your right knee and twist. And you can even bring the arm up. See what's best for you. See how we feel. Breathe here. From here, we're going to go into a side plank. We're going to do a variation of side plank. Okay? So this foot that's in front comes to the middle of the mat. And we extend the back foot. So we're kind of using this foot. I'm going to flip the view. So we've done this. Bring that foot that was in front. And it's facing that way. So both toes are facing that way. If this is too much, just bring that knee down and do this. But otherwise, I think this is quite fun. Lift. Awesome. Then hand down and plank and downward dog. Okay. Inhale. Again, plank this time. Bring the knees down. Come all the way to the floor. And we're going to go for cobra. Inhale, lift. No hands. Exhale, down. 2 more. Inhale, flying cobra. Exhale, down. Last time. Inhale. Really engage the glutes. Pubic bone against the floor. Legs are engaged. Exhale, down. And raise into downward dog. Let's do the other side. Left foot comes up a bit and then between your hands, right knee on the floor. And let's do that twist. So hand can be on your knee or up into the sky. Breathe here. Now bring that foot, start hip toe, that foot to the middle of the mat, straighten the back leg, the right leg, and lift into this version of side plank. Breathe, hips quite high. Then both hands down, normal plank, downward dog. Inhale, normal plank, and again all the way down, and once again 3 flying cobras. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Come again into a tabletop, and once again do a couple of cat-cow, readjusting the spine. How does it feel after we've been moving? Just to readjust with your breath, inhaling and exhaling, a movement and breath. And then from here, we're going to do melting heart, which is or puppy pose. We call it differently. So just walk the hands forward. And again, the block can be handy. Once again, you could even bring the forehead on the block or bring the forehead to the floor. The knees, the hips are above the knees. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. We're not going to stay here for too long. Some people like to keep the elbows extended, or you can bring the elbows to the floor. See what's best. And the objective, this is, again, a shoulder opener. So you want to feel it in the shoulders. So squeeze a bit the belly so you're not really doing a big, deep back bend here. See how it feels for the arm, for the arms. Just a couple of breaths. Breathe. Every time you exhale, your chest is coming closer to the floor. That's why it's called melting heart. Make this your last 2 breaths. And on the last inhale, you're going to come up again. Come up, come up, come up. And then come on your knees. The gate pose. So on your knees, extend the right leg out. Toes can be pointing forward or can be pointing to the side. It's just up to you. I like pointing them forward. And then bring the right left arm up and start sliding the right hand along. So you kind of like really stretching the side of the body. Breathing here. Making it really long. And then using your obliques, so not using the hand that's on the floor, that's on the leg. Use your obliques to squeeze the belly, come back up. So you're really engaging the oblique muscles here. And now bring that left hand to the floor. And a little stretch on the right hand over the body. Yes, lovely. Breathe. And then, again, using your obliques, come back up. And let's change legs. So now it's the left leg that slides and the right that one comes up and start bending over. Breathe. And don't cave the chest forward. See, notice if you're caving in. So open up. Perhaps you can look at your elbow or towards the ceiling. Notice if that makes any difference, that micro adjustment. And then again, using your obliques, squeeze the belly, come up off the pose and bring that right hand to the floor. And stretch that left arm. Pressing that left foot onto the floor. Really finding this side stretch here. And then let's come back down. And let's do boat pose. So bring the hands behind you and really lift your sternum, lift the collarbone, up, 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 squeeze the belly, start leaning back, keep that lifted, and perhaps one leg goes up, perhaps the other, or perhaps just one at the time. See how we feel. You see, you good? Breathe. See, we can breathe here. If we breathe normally, you're fine. If you have more strength, perhaps we can leave the hands out of the equation. If suddenly you start going, then bring the hands back. So again, just to stay at the level we want to stay. Breathe. Lift more that collarbone. Smile. And then release. We're going to do another round of this. So just for a moment, just rub your head around your legs, your arms around your legs. And let's go for that second round. So again, you can stay at any stage that you feel you're working. And again, make it comfortable, but not so comfortable that we like doing nothing. So again, perhaps you can straighten the legs. or perhaps keep them bent. It's up to you. We're going to be here for 3 deep breaths. Keep the collarbone up. And letting go. Cross the legs and roll forward. Hands on the floor. Come into downward dog. Breathing in and out again. Stretching deeply here. Inhale, rise the right leg up. Up, 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 and bend the knee. Knee pointing at the ceiling. Opening the hip, and then bring the right foot forward and a runner's lunge. So the left foot is off the floor. Hold here for a moment. Breathe. Inhale, lift up into a high lunge. Inhale. And as you exhale, come down, bring the hands in the inside of the leg this time, and heel toe, that right foot, and you are in lizard. You can remain here like this, or bring the back knee down like this, or our friend the block can be put here. You can put your elbows on the block perhaps, or even all the way to the floor. And breathe here. Again, just releasing into the pose. One more breath. Again, let's get up. Come up, come up, come up. Tuck the toes. Come into downward dog. And now walk the hands back. Walk the hands back, walk the hands back, walk the hands back. You can bring the feet closer or keep them hip width apart and come into a deep downward dog. So again, you can keep the hands on the floor, straighten one leg, one at a time. You can perhaps bring the hands behind the legs. Or if you're far, doesn't matter. Bend, put the hands on the floor. It's whatever it is comfortable. Stay for a couple of moments here. And then hands down on the floor, heel toe, until your toes are open and your heels are in, and come down into a squat, Malasana. Breathe. Pushing the elbows out. And again, raising the collarbone. So we're not just dumping our weight here, raising up. So we're not in full yin mode, really. Breathe. And then once again, hands down. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Walk the hands forward till you get into your downward dog. And now raise the left foot up. Bend at the knee. Hold it for a moment. And then straighten again and bring that left foot between your hands and high lunge. And runner's lunge, beg your pardon. So stay here for a moment. And find your balance. You know, we're going to rise, you're going to do a high lunge. I can't speak anymore. Too relaxed now. A high lunge in a second. So make sure that your feet are hip width apart, that your feet are a strong balance, and then you start rising up using the strength of your legs and arms up. Squeeze the belly. Lovely. Nice. Breathe here. And then once again, coming down. This time the two hands in the inside. Heel toe, heel toe. And you can choose to stay here or bring the knee down. Perhaps use the block, stay here, or bring the elbows down on the block. It's all about the choices. Okay, last breath here. The next time you inhale, come out of the pose, bring the hands and come back into a downward dog. Once again, walk the hands back, walk the hands back, walk the hands back. We're going to do another forward fold. You can bring the feet together or hip width apart, but this time we're going to interlock the hands behind us and stretch the knuckles up. So again, getting deep into the shoulders. And again, you can do not lock neither the elbows nor the knees. So there's always a micro bend there. The top of the head wants to reach the floor. Squeeze the belly. Keep on reaching with the knuckles up, but without really locking. Breathe and then release. Release, release, release. And roll up. Roll up from here. Come to the center of the mat once again. Okay, we're gonna do chair pose, just the last effort, okay, before we go into more restorative. So bring the feet together, inhale, arms up, and sit on a chair, creating some heat, again, good for your core. But since it's a very relaxed class and it's good for bursting stress, you know, sometimes we need some core to get through the stress. Bring the hands in front of your chest. We're going to do a twist. We're going to bring the left elbow just outside the right knee and do a little twist. Lovely. And breathe, and let's do it with joy. And then come back up, come back up, come back up, come back up, all the way up. And now the right leg comes up into a tree pose. So you can place that right foot wherever you like, all the way up or just down near the ankles. And bring the hands in front of your chest and breathe. Looking at something that's not moving. And again, the best thing to really bring the stress levels down and start activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest, is this coordination breath movement. So wherever we are, we're trying to calm down the breath, bring it down, breathing slower, even in this pose, and coordinating breath and movement. So perhaps we bring the arms up, inhaling, and as you exhale, opening them. And again, you can put the foot quite low, keep it down on your ankle. Just focus today on the movement of the arms. One more time, inhale up and exhale. And let go, let go, let go. We're just gonna do the same thing on the other side. Again, first chair, inhale up and exhale, sitting on the chair. Nice, lovely, squeeze the belly. And now hands together. And now the right elbow hooks just outside the left knee. For a little twist. Try to breathe slower. And then coming back up. And we're going to do the tree on the other side. And again, find the time to lean in. And if we fall, it's fine. And we can do any version of tree that we like. The foot can be, even the toes can be touching the floor, okay? Or just here. So once again, hands in front of your chest, and then just think of the breath. Inhaling, the arms come up. And exhaling, opening to the side. And again, like a little round circle here. And then come back. Awesome. And then we're going to make our way down to the floor. And we're going to do one of the probably most relaxing poses, great before to sleep, and it's caterpillar. So in yin it's called caterpillar, which is a forward fold. The legs are together, but if it's not comfortable to have them together, you can have them hip width apart or whatever you want. And you can put a block or a cushion underneath the knees. So your knees are not really stressing behind, so the ligaments behind the knees don't have any stress. So just put something underneath the knees. Could be a block, a cushion, and just come forward. And release, 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 release here. You can also have a cushion or a block between your legs and your forehead. Or you can have your hands and your arms. It's up to you. And just settle into the pose. I'm going to stay here for a minute or two. We're getting into the more yin part. So start focusing on your breath, the sensations in the body, and making a resolution to not move, to remain still. Make this your last 2 breaths here. See if you can release even a bit more. And on the last breath, you're going to inhale through the nose. Then opening your mouth, let out a long sigh. Now very slowly, vertebra by vertebra, we're going to come up. Taking your time to get up there. And we're going to lie down. We're going to do a twist now. So bring both knees towards your chest and allow them to drop to the left, opening the right arm. And again, you can open it, stretch it to the side like a T. You can also bring set block underneath your knees for more restful, or a cushion or anything, so if the knees don't reach the floor. Breathe. And there is nothing for you to do, nowhere to go. Just allow gravity to do all the work for you right now. Make this your last 2 breaths. And like before, for the last breath, you can inhale deeply and slowly through the nose, and then exhale slowly through the mouth, letting go. And then once again, come back to the center. You may want to readjust your hips position. You may also even bring the hips a tiny bit towards the left, and then bring the knees to your chest and let them drop to the right, allowing the left arm to just straighten along. And again, just let go, focusing on the breath, and just letting your breath guide you, and letting gravity do the work, allowing just the weight of your body do the work for you. Once again, just make this your last 2 breaths, softening more. And for the last breath, inhale through the nose and exhale slowly, letting out a big sigh. And once again, just come back slowly, taking your time. Readjust your hips. Keep the feet flat on the ground, the knees pointing up. And now grab your block and slide it under your hips. So as if we were gonna do like a bridge pose. So you can stay here in bridge pose, that's very relaxing as well. Or what I'm suggesting is to do this pose that's called waterfall, where you keep your hips on the block and just lift your legs up. If you don't have a block, again, a big firm cushion would do, or just go to a wall. This is quite nice, and a little mild inversion can be really good for stress, for relief. Just reversing the blood flow is a big relief for the heart. So just see if you can stay still in this position for a few deep breaths, allowing the hips to be heavy. after this pose, we're gonna get into Shavasana. So if at any point you feel you had enough of this, you can already start slowly bending your leg. It's pretty comfortable. I'm gonna stay still for another few breaths. But again, it's up to you. I remember the first time I tried this pose, I didn't find it that comfortable. So just a couple more breaths here. And just noticing perhaps the tingling sensation in your legs and your feet. And focusing on deep breathing, slow breathing. And then you can slowly start bending your knees, bring the feet down to the floor. And once again, just lift the hips up, remove the block. And if you need to put on some more clothes or just grab a blanket and throw it on top, you can do that. Otherwise, just stretch your legs, close your eyes, and relax in Shavasana or corpse pose. Put in your socks. Lovely. Yeah, and even a little cushion under the head, a little pillow, anything that will now. Yeah, we're going for the pillow, huh? Okay, awesome. And just relax there for a few minutes, letting go. Once again, just letting gravity do all the work for you. The best way to recover, to nourish, is to nourish our body and to rest it plenty, but with the good type of rest. The type of rest that's nourishing, that really allow the muscles to relax, that allow the inner tissues of the body to relax, the organs to relax, the mind. Start coming back into your breath. Start coming back into your body. Starting to be aware of your body, the muscles in your body, of the movement in your body when you breathe. Perhaps noticing your belly coming, inflating, expanding. And then start moving your fingers and your toes, bringing any small type of movement into your body once again. Perhaps even your head to one side, just saying no very gently. And then take a long, nice stretch by raising your arms above your head. And just the stretching. And then finally just bend your knees, placing the feet on the ground and roll to one side. And then slowly, slowly, once again, taking good care of how you come up. Just start peeling yourself off the floor and come to a seated position. Once you get there, any sort of comfortable seated position for you right now, just close your eyes again. And just sitting upright, just have a moment to notice how you feel. Noticing perhaps any differences or not, how your body is feeling, any sensations, how your mind is feeling. And knowing that you might not have time for an hour of yoga every day, but you have sometimes the opportunity to just close your eyes and remember this feeling of just breathing in and breathing out and noticing your breath, even if it's just to take 3 deep breaths. And connecting the breath with the body, noticing where it lives, where it stays, where you feel it. Just doing that. That's always at hand. And then take a big inhale, and for the last time, open your mouth and let go of a sigh. And open your eyes. And we are done. Thank you. Thank you very much.